All right, everybody. Hey, Furious Styles, how are you doing? Welcome in, Battery Power Gardener. What's happening? Welcome to the game. This is the Great American Experience. I'm your host, the Wizard of Oz, and this is not my show. But I'm the guy pushing buttons and pulling levers in the background, just making it so you have this platform to express what you want to say. Grab a link, hit the link, come up and talk about it. Yeah, the show is for you. So grab a link, come up. Let's start the conversation. Get this party started. All right. Just got done eating dinner. It was supposed to be raining here all day, but we didn't get shit. So I got the garden finished. At least the main part of the garden completed. All the corn's in, pumpkins, cantaloupe, watermelons, all the onions, potatoes, corn, all the mulch is in. Oh, yeah. Hey, Battery, how's your gardening coming along?
Haven't started.
A little behind the eight ball this time, ain't you?
Too much going on. But I have a new tiller.
Oh, good deal.
And I've been working out there in the ground. It digs pretty good. And it's easy to clean the tines.
Well, we got it done with 5 loads of wood chips. We still got one more load we got to get. We got to get one for the trees. One more load of wood chips on the 12-foot trailer. Jeez. One more.
Wow, what?
Huh?
12 foot.
Yeah, I got a dual axle 12-foot trailer. Yeah. We put boards on the side of it so we can pile the wood chips in there. Yeah, it works out pretty good. We haul about 2 yards of wood chips with each load, maybe 3, 2.5.
I had a pretty nasty day.
Um, I figured it was going to be a lot nastier than it was because if it was what they forecast, I wouldn't have been able to get shit done.
Weather was great.
Uh,
I got on the freeway just past the Home Depot and ran out of gas.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I have no gas gauge, so I have to estimate.
Oh, so your math was fucked up, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
What's up, Trinidad?
Had to wait an hour for a gallon of gas. I got to the gas station at Costco and there was like 200 cars in line.
Oh shit.
And I remembered I have enough points from Fred Meyer to get $1 off per gallon. So I rushed over to Fred Meyer and got there 8 minutes after they closed.
Oh wow.
So I had to go back to Costco.
Right.
And they put, here's 15-gallon tank. They put 19 gallons in there after I already had a gallon in it. So it's 20 gallons out of a 15-gallon tank. Only at Costco.
Yeah, imagine.
I go anywhere else, I get 16 gallons. I'm not buying gas there anymore. And I'm going to talk to them. This ain't the first time. This is the worst time.
Kind of fucked up how you can get 19 gallons in a 15-gallon tank.
Yeah, you can fit 15 in the tank and 1 in the neck. That's 16. Not 20. Yeah, I'm going to. And this ain't the only Costco that's happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like fraud.
Yeah. And I've been buying this crap for years.
Right.
They owe me free gas for a year. I'd settle for that and never buy gas there again.
Yeah, but it's 10 cents cheaper.
So what? I say, see,
You gotta watch those little numbers. Like, you know how they got the it's 99 9/10.
okay, I saved $1.90. I spent $98.
Wow.
My last tank was $64. This one was 98.
Imagine that.
So when I left the gas pumps, I would park right next to the gas station, put up my flag that says, I don't blame me, I voted for Trump. I immediately got 2 honks, thumbs up.
Hey, canoes.
And I had 5 more. And then just one, when I went to take it off, somebody said, F Donald Trump. I laughed
Yeah, I
at him.
was talking to a lady in the store today, and I noticed that the potato chips hadn't really gone up in price. And I made a smart ass remark. I was like, well, you know how food costs have been going up. These potato chips ain't going up at all. It makes me wonder if they're even food.
They're not food.
I know, right? Right. So I was making that joke, right? She goes, no, they just don't put as many in the bag. Look, it's like this
That's
one
right.
third of this bag is chips and the rest of it's all air. And she
They're not
started
putting.
going off about Biden, and next thing you know, yeah, we were shaking
Yep.
hands.
This is the time where, um, for the price of the gas, it's cheaper to take cocaine and run everywhere.
What?
It's cheaper to take cocaine and run everywhere.
Oh,
Gas is more expensive than cocaine.
yeah.
Yep, love those wizard batteries. Oh, I'm one step closer to having my power supply, my bench power supply built.
Oh, good deal.
I bought a variable power supply and hooked
Yeah.
negative lead up to the negative 12 and a positive lead up to the positive 12. And I get 30 volts out of that thing. It's a $1.30.
Wow.
I get as low as a half a volt to 30 volts. And I've got other wires I can wire stuff up with. I can put outlets all around my shed.
Right.
And I can use it to charge my batteries if I need to.
Of
And
course.
I came home and I had it on solar all day. I had 14 volts on the battery.
Cool. I'm still on solar. I'm kind of
That was on
surprised.
solar.
I'm still on solar power. I'm kind of surprised because we didn't have a whole lot of sun today. We had some sun, but not a lot. So,
Clouds are rolling in now, but it's been sunny all day.
I mean, it was bright outside, but it wasn't raining. It was supposed to be raining all fucking day long, right? I wasn't supposed to be able to get anything done, but I managed to finish out the garden today. I got the last of the corn rows built up in the back and got it all mulched in and
I'm hot.
got the pumpkins and the cantaloupes planted and the watermelons. Fuck yeah, dude. Kicked it ass.
Not as good as fresh out of the garden, but not bad. I have one
Wow.
plant.
Zoom says in South Carolina it was 100 degrees today.
They said
That's
it's possible to
crazy.
get 80 here today.
Yep. The next 4 days ain't supposed to be above 82. It's supposed to be hanging right around 80 for high. It's going to be beautiful. Well, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'll be able to finish out the back strap on the garden and get the piers done and get the framework up. This is going to be awesome. And then we're supposed to get like 3 to 4 days of rain right in a row. So Lord does provide, you know. No, we ain't supposed to get any 100-degree days in our forecast. I just don't know where that heat's coming from, why it's so hot in South Carolina. That's crazy.
I went mountain biking near 100 degrees in South Carolina, but it had rained the night before, so the trail was really muddy. There were 3 other people on the trail, so I joined them, and it was 2 guys and 1 girl, and they started changing clothes right there on the next at the end of the trail. All of them, all 3. Like, whoa! I just put
Yeah,
my
gotta get
clean
those
clothes over.
thongs out there, but
I just put my clean clothes over my clothes. Man, we had mud flying everywhere. It was great. Most fun I had without a 4-wheeler.
there you go, Canoes. 88. He says Canoes had 88 degrees today.
No, we might have got 80 today. I don't know. They said possible, but my phone told me 78, which is pretty cool.
Hey, I also picked up the Dawn for my garden feeding. So I'll get out there tomorrow and feed the garden before I water it. Yay. Look like I'm about to die. So, yeah, welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the game. Great American Experience is here for you. All you got to do is click the link, come up, and join the conversation.
What I got here.
Oh,
Look at that.
I'll do a video tomorrow of the garden and stuff. Oh, well. What's that?
Yeah,
Huh?
clams.
Um,
Don't
you can
smell.
keep all that. I don't mess with that stuff.
I love clams.
Every time I eat those damn things, they make me sick. I don't know what the hell's it doing.
A bit worried about that myself.
No, Zoom, I haven't heard about a shooting at a hospital. I haven't heard about it. I'll have to look that up.
Hey, I saw part of a AOC live stream. It wasn't live for me. Somebody else was showing it, and I was reading the comments. Oh my gosh, the comments were so against her. It was hilarious. She didn't have a clue what the comments were saying about her, saying to her. One of them said Trump 2024.
Right.
She got trolled in her own chat. Oh, it was awesome.
Now they're trying to blame Christian nationalists for mass shootings. Yeah, that's what Christians do. They go out and kill people.
I want them to show me one.
I know, right? Just one. Just one.
Yeah, they were asking somebody at Congress, I think the House Judicial Committee, and the person would say, "All right, I challenge you to show me just one attack of these so-called white supremacists." Yeah, we're gonna have to get back to you on that, so you don't have
Yeah.
anything.
Show me a white Christian. Yeah.
Well, over the weekend there was more people killed in Chicago than any of these mass shootings. Wasn't all in the same place. It was all over the city.
A mountain lion wandered into a classroom. What the hell?
Okay.
California mountain lion wanders into high school classroom.
Well, my high school in California, we had a mountain lion on the library, middle of LA County, right next to Long Beach and Torrance. There was a tower. You climb up on the tower, you see houses as far as you could see. The school had 3,000 students, and they
A
told us all to
friggin'
stay
mountain
away.
lion can get into a school classroom.
Somebody had to open the
Hello?
door, or it jumped through the window. They don't put screens, like a
What the?
screen out there. But they told everybody to stay away from the library because there's a mountain lion on the roof. So of course everybody went by the library, myself included.
With all this bullshit going on with the schools, how the hell does a fucking mountain lion just wander into a classroom?
Now I would hear about the one in Washington, being I'm in Oregon. I haven't heard anything. Where's this reported, Canute?
That's on Fox, or was it the mountain lion thing? Grown Washington State mauled by a mountain lion at church camp.
Well, We have mountain bikers chased by mountain lions all the time. Sometimes bears, but mostly mountain lions. You know, mountain lions are opportunists.
Really?
If something's running, that's prey. If you stop running, turn around, face them, they'll run away.
Oh, yeah.
You don't wait for them to tackle you. Because when they tackle you, you're done for. But if they think you're a threat, they're not going to attack you. Okay, I don't have Fox. I have Newsmax. I have OAN. I have RSBN. I had snakes in my tent. Of course, I threw them in there. My cousin wouldn't get out of bed. 10 o'clock, I already had breakfast and coffee, and I wanted to go fishing. So, and he's in that tent just snoring away. I'm like, fine. I grabbed the tent bag and filled it full of snakes and tossed it in there. He come flying out like it was on fire.
Of course.
Not a poisonous snake in the bunch.
Right.
Mostly garter snakes. Suckers are fast. I never seen a snake move so fast. We have some black ones here. Black garter snakes, they call them black racers. I saw one. The way I was going to catch that sucker.
There's one on OAN says Biden reportedly frustrated with his White House staff's handling of the inflation.
You see his Playhouse staff?
Yeah. He's probably upset because they're not promoting it more, or because they're not talking
Every
it up.
week, every once in a while, he leaves his bunker.
Every once in a while, he escapes. They don't let him out.
Some idiot couldn't understand why Trump goes around with Secret Service. All ex-presidents have Secret Service, not just Trump. Because now they get to fly around his private jet. Which is beautiful. Gold trim everywhere. You'd think you would think he raided Fort Knox with all the gold on his plane, but he had that gold put in the plane before he was president. Plus, there is gold in Fort Knox now. Not as much as there was, but there wasn't before he got there. Trump put the gold back in the Treasury. You know, here Biden trying to claim 333 new oil leases. They're not new, for one thing. And he was forced to release those oil leases by the court. But he's trying to take credit for it.
Bunch of sick bastards, that's what I think.
Hey, Kimber. Hey, Kimmy. Oh, man, we had a crazy day today. In fact, we have one tool that we're working on, and they were testing it as a prototype. And it's been in area for 3 weeks. It looks like might be there for a 4th week. They're hoping to get it out this week.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's where we put together, took it apart, put it together, take it apart, put it together. Crazy. They wanted us to change all the ground wires and put star washers under them everywhere it mounted. If it touched metal, it had a star washer on the bottom. And we couldn't take it all apart to do this. We had to work with it together. So we had to take one of the load ports off, and by taking off the load port, when we put it back on, we have to rebalance it and recalibrate the robot.
Right.
Oh man, it's crazy. I was getting all stressed out. Yesterday, I was sweating, trying to get it put together before the customer showed up. And when they showed up, I was the only one still working on it. Everybody else abandoned me. And I was putting it on the ground. It was on these legs, little skinny legs, and I was putting it back on the ground when it showed up. Like I said, I got abandoned by everybody. There was 4 of us working on it. And then they all...
Tanya says that her emoji, Tanya's meme corner emoji, was deleted. And she had to upload it again and wait for Twitch to approve it.
Oh, boy. Why would they delete it? Joe Dirt. That was a dumb movie. Oh, I found a video that was memes only. Males understand. Pretty funny.
They can't mess with that. That's all. Oh, yeah.
What?
Might have been an update, too.
The only thing I'm waiting for on my power bot, my bench power supply, is the box. That comes tomorrow. Well, actually, it's supposed to come today.
Only thing I'm waiting for right now is fire in the bowl. Fire in the bowl.
Fire it up.
Well, I got him. Yeah.
Well, I bought some hemp seed. I've been putting it with yogurt, plain yogurt, throw blueberries in it. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I stopped doing it, and now my stomach's not feeling as good as it was. I think I better start it up again.
Maybe so.
Hemp seeds are pretty good.
Yeah, good for you. Shadow Man, what's up?
I was reading it looked like Shadow Man. Like, huh?
Oh, it's Shadow Man.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Tanya. Good to see you.
Oh.
They put a tier 2 levels.
I gotta reload.
Oh, Tanya, I thought that was broccoli. Green diamonds. It looked like broccoli.
What in the world? You sure you didn't do some edibles or some shit?
No, I don't have my glasses.
Oh.
Well, it's all blurry.
Yeah, good
excuse. I backed up and focused, and I saw the diamonds.
Good excuse.
They're green, and about the shape, blur about the shape of broccoli. Maybe I'm just craving broccoli. I love broccoli. Anybody else here like broccoli?
I like broccoli.
Hey, you name a vegetable, I probably like it. Pretty good chance.
Oh, that breeze feels good coming in that window.
I like Brussels sprouts too. When they're cooked right. If you burn any, it's garbage.
Hey, Diesel.
I like my Brussels sprouts with a little vinegar and some butter. Oh gosh, salt and pepper.
So, yeah. Hey, it's that guy.
What
Liptar
guy?
says, what?
Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Yes, it's on.
Um,
We can
no,
hear
it's
you.
not.
Good afternoon, good evening, all. How's everybody?
Doing pretty damn good, actually. I'm a
Good.
day ahead of my work now, all of a sudden.
How you doing, Don?
Another day in the life of a day in the life. Um,
Starting to sound like tomorrow.
um, I'm
That was a
doing
good
less and
impression.
I'm doing less and less at work, and they're sending me more and more and more money. So I
Don,
don't
that
really
was
understand that.
Don, that was a good impression of Kamala Harris.
Ah, okay.
She loops.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Have you ever seen one of her speeches?
I read these people's speeches. I can't stand to watch them, to physically see them. It's kind of like Trump. You know what? I love the brother. I do. You know me. I'm a fan. But I can't watch him speak. I have to rely on others to tell me what he said, which I'm cool with everything he says. And that's kind of the thing. I don't need to listen to him speak. I'll still send him money. What's up, platoon? Canoes? What is happening, brothers and sisters? Tanya, I see you up in there. Diesel Defects. Shadow Man. Man.
Yeah, Depp
Man.
and Hurd are both they're just a couple of narcissists that just, way too
Ain't it
important.
though? Kimmy, how are you? I hope you're well. I understand you may have been under the weather, but you may be getting better for us. This is what I want to hear.
Yeah, she's doing good. Hi, Kimmy.
Me, I'm just a lurking guy that's lurking.
Oh, yeah?
Uh, that lurks a lot, and then maybe comes up, says one or two things that are non-controversial, and then lurks some more. That's me,
Well, Don T, how does your garden grow?
dude. My garden does not grow right now. Let me tell you about my garden. Let me tell you about my garden. DVJ
Mine ain't growing either.
local
What?
dispensary is my garden. Uh,
Right.
I just picked up I just picked up a full ounce of Wedding Crasher, 26.01% THC.
I do have one tomato plant.
So what do you
And
call
then
those? Those are the spicy tomatoes. Is that right, Wiz?
I'd like to see that.
No, mostly my garden has been made up of wires recently. I've been trying to get solar online, and I've been pretty successful at that. I just got the fresh pallet of new solar panels. Um, I'm cleaning the building out, making space, and just I need to bring wireless down there so that I can bring my Bitcoin miners online here in the next couple of days, hopefully.
Coal miner? I don't
So we'll
understand.
see. We'll see. That's where I'm going right now. We lost Wiz.
Bitcoin's been going down from what I hear.
Canoes, why are you bleeding? Fucking cats. Why do you have cats that are cutting you? Yeah, it gets hot down here.
That's what cats do.
Man, you take two these.
I don't have cats anymore.
Yeah, okay. Um,
Being type 2 diabetic, I don't heal so well.
Yeah, I try not to judge other people in their animal selections, though. So I'm trying to be less judgmental in my life. How about that?
Hey, yesterday I put on my "Don't Blame Me, I Voted for Trump" flag right at the Costco gas station. I immediately got 2 honks and thumbs up.
2 honks and a thumbs up. Okay.
No, they honked and gave me the thumbs up. And
I
then I
love
had 3 more. I had 3 more along the way home, and I stopped to take the flag off, and some guy saw it, and he just had to say F, F Donald Trump from a safe distance.
it. He said what?
F Donald Trump.
Ah, okay.
I laughed at him. How do you like your inflation?
Yeah.
Well,
How's that $6 gas working for you?
He just repeated over and over again. Yesterday I put $98 in my gas tank. It's cheaper to go buy cocaine and run everywhere. I only have a 15-gallon tank, but somehow they put 19 in it. We already talked about this. Canoe said you need to get an investigation started on Costco.
Mine is my Jeep is a 19-gallon tank. I think 19 gallons is standard across a lot of things.
The book on my truck says 15.
Sure.
And when I go to any other gas station, the most they put in is 16. That's if I'm crawling in on fumes.
16. 1 6.
Yep.
Okay.
Wish it's 16.
Both of my Grand Cherokees have 19-gallon tanks, and wifey's Honda Civic has a 14-gallon tank. And it'll still go twice as far as both of my Jeeps combined. Fucking thing is 40 million miles to the gallon.
My wife's got a Scion. And it gets around 35. I bought a device that they guaranteed that it will almost double your gas mileage. Plugged it into the port, the code reader port,
Yeah.
and my gas mileage went down. But of course, I was filling up at Costco. I think if I fill up somewhere else, the gas mileage will go up. Running on Costco gas.
Okay. Well, I'm leery of anything that plugs into my ODB2 port and starts fucking with my engine stuff.
Well, I have a code reader. It's called Fixed, and it has saved me a lot of money.
Okay.
What people normally do with the problems I've had, they would go into a shop and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. I just stop at a O'Reilly's and fix it on the parking lot.
Okay. Well, you know, most people are not battery addiction. Screen keeps freezing. Gotta go now. Maybe back later. Good evening, Tanya.
I grew up.
Glad you could join us.
I grew up, as I was growing up, my father was a mechanic. He worked on engine room ships.
Mm-hmm.
And he always worked on his own cars. He never took to a shop. So I learned from him.
Okay.
And I also learned to dodge flying wrenches. He had a temper. Drinking beer while he's working on the cars. He gets a temper. Well, not anymore. He hasn't touched a drop in about 20 years.
That's good to hear.
And my mother called me one day and said he came to church with me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, really?
What have you done?
That's awesome. Of course, it's a Baptist church. At least it's a church.
Howdy dum, dody dum dum.
I need Wizard to come back or somebody else to come up here because I gotta go. I just about 5 minutes to say hi. What's going on? I'm building a bench power supply, and I bought a variable voltage control.
Yeah.
And I installed it. I put it on the positive and negative 12 volts, so that the negative 12 volts is the baseline. All this thing sees is that's negative, and then the positive is, the power coming off of it, 24 volts. But the variable voltage goes from half a volt to 30 volts. Now, I could have bought one for all I've spent on this, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah, solar power just went out. So.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, I need to get one of those soft start units for my refrigerator. That'll help a little bit. And I did have some batteries go down, so I don't have quite the battery supply that I had. I got to buy 3 more batteries, 2 more.
Okay. Check JAG35. You can get some really good lithium iron phosphates, and you can put them in with your lead acid.
I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on
$35 each.
Huh?
They're $35 each. 12 volts, 15 BMSs.
Huh? Well,
and 22 amp hours.
22 amp hours.
218 watts.
And how much are they a piece?
$35.
$35. So $100 is going to get me about 66 amp hours.
Let me give you some comparison numbers. I just looked at, I'm going to build my own 48 volt DC 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery bank with a BMS and wireless control, and tie that into my system. I'll put that on a portable rack or something like that. So the reason I can do that is I already have the first 8 cells. So I need 8 more cells. 8 more of the 3.7 volt prismatic lithium iron phosphate 200 amp hour cells.
Check.
I already have.
Oh, wow.
They're available on Alibaba for anywhere between $44 a piece and $55 a piece.
Right.
So the cost is going to be somewhere between $770 and $880 just for the cells.
Yeah, but it's going to take quite a few of them to get you back up to 48 volt.
It's going to take 16.
Yeah.
16 of those cells to go to 48 volts. And nominally, it won't be 48 volts. It'll be 52 point something volts.
I got another source for you.
Okay.
Battery Clearinghouse.
In the United States?
Yes.
They won't be able to beat this price. I know that. But okay. Battery Clearinghouse.
I've seen prismatic cells on their site for $20 each.
No shit. Okay. I'll be happy to look at that. Yes.
I thought about getting them myself, but I already have these other batteries.
Well, and that's the thing. I was going to build a 12 volt for the RB. These prismatic cells. I was actually going to do two 12 volts. So I have two 4-packs of these 200 amp hour cells already. And
Cell 200 amp?
I'm sorry, what?
Each cell is 200?
200 amp hour. Yes.
I would have figured out more would be. Actually, that would be the same thing as one. Because they're not parallel. Yeah, 4 and
So this will
2.
be a 16S cell solution, BMS solution.
Okay.
48 volts, roughly 200 amp hours.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, that's the
220.
cost. That's the numbers comparison. If you're looking to compare against other battery sets that you might be inclined to endeavor.
2,000 cycles.
I don't know how many cycles. I know the ones that I buy are 7,000 cycles.
If you don't do a full cycle, you can pretty much let those things last forever.
Yeah, and I understand you can expand the cycles too by expanding the battery parameters, the BMS parameters, charge cycles, things like that, and expanding its capacity. Because they generally, when they give them to you, they only give them to you at a 50% rated setup.
Oh, wow.
And the lithium titanate is pretty good. It has
Mr. Singularity.
20,000.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Okay. Now that everybody's getting on,
Yeah, I got
Okay,
you.
say good night.
Oh, right on. I'm about ready to give up on the solar, I think, just with this, either that or get rid of my standby unit. Man, that's turning into a nightmare trying to figure out how to get all that tied in. Even with a professional, he's having a heck of a time with it.
So,
Good night.
Good
night,
night.
sir.
Take care, battery. Oh, crud. I hope I didn't chase him off.
No, no. But you know what?
Okay.
You were saying it wouldn't tie in with your generator. Well, that's called a transfer switch. That's a different piece of equipment.
Yeah, well, he's talking about this one unit that basically communicates everything. So basically, I'm feeding into the system, but it knows if the power goes down to where it'll shut that off, and my Jenny can kick on if I'm not producing enough. To where it's this whole system that's got to talk to each other, and that's all in that inverter grid tie thing.
Right. That's what self-sensing transfer switch.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's going to be a small fortune to get.
No. Yeah, no. Okay. So I just had that done at the house here. I have a full auto transfer switch tied to the grid.
Okay.
It's a Generac. It's a Generac transfer switch. It cost me $990. And it's full auto. It does the whole nut. Yes, sir. It sits between me and the grid. It sits between my generator and the grid. And so it senses when the grid goes down, it brings the generator. It shuts the grid off, brings the generator online. And it's certified. So this is what the power company told me to put in.
That'll work with this grid tie inverter.
That will work with this grid tie inverter, yes. Go ahead.
But with mine being a grid tie, there's something about, and I could be misunderstanding what he was saying that I needed instead of that inverter there that I gave him the specs off of. But where I want to do a grid tie with the solar, I got to make sure that feeds in. But if the power goes down, my generator doesn't kick on, and they're both trying to feed into the system to charge the system.
That's what
So
that
it's got to be
transfer
like that.
switch is for. That's
All
what
right.
that transfer switch is for.
But it's got to register the solar separately
right.
from the.
Yeah, it does.
The solar is separately. So hold on.
Yeah.
What you need is it in the inverter. It's called SBU, solar battery utility. And basically you're saying that you want to live on solar, which is what that and Signature Solar calls this their consumer consumption model. In other words, you want to live on solar if all day, and even feed back to the grid if you can. And then you want to either live on battery at night or live off the grid at night. Live off of the grid's power at night.
Right.
Right. Are we in right? Okay. So
Bingo.
that's easy. Hold on. So stop making this massively overcomplicated, because it ain't. Okay. It's really very fucking simple. A simple and this Generac transfer switch will solve most, if not all, of your problems. I may need 2 of them because I have a very sophisticated setup. 2 of these transfer switches will far exceed any need that I have. These transfer switches are rated at 225 amps at 240 volts. So their ratings is not going to be a problem for you. My Generac is 24 kVA, and it'll move all of that plus some.
That's bigger than mine. Mine's
Yes,
14.
it is.
Yeah.
So that said, what happens is you're going to set up your transfer switch to first use solar. In other words, your house is going to be tied to the solar. And until that solar goes down, your transfer switch is not going to engage. Once the solar goes down, like you don't have solar power, you have to make a choice. Are you going to go to battery or do you want to go to the grid?
Probably the grid.
My choice is I want to go to battery because the grid is expensive power and that's my last resort. I'd rather charge off the generator than I would charge off of the grid because of cost. Charge my batteries. But that's me. But but yours is real simple. Again, it's really simple. You set these ATMs up, and your electrician should know how to do this.
Oh yeah,
If
he was telling me all that he has to do.
Exactly. So all you're going to do is you're setting up a switching mechanism to where, and I don't know if you've ever seen a relay the way it works, but when power leaves a relay, then it physically moves back to a position that allows the default. In other words, allows power to flow. That's what these ATMs are doing. And so all you're doing is switching from the solar to the battery to the grid. One of those is going to be a default position. So there's no switching required. So the solar is your default position.
Yeah. And the kicker that kind of tosses a bit of a thing is that if the grid goes down, to where that's what kind of apparently makes it a little more.
Well,
then I mean, they've got systems for it, but it just makes it to where you can't do a standard like grid ties and standard this.
Singularity, no, that's not really a thing. If the solar goes, if the grid goes down, your transfer switch can send the signal to start your generator, and then the generator becomes the source of the power, and your grid tie inverter still works.
That's one way to solve that problem. Yes.
Yep.
The other way is that they have stopped your default grid tie is stopped being the default. In other words, it used to be that if the grid goes down, then you were automatically auto-locked out of power at your house. Even if you had solar panels, your solar panels don't work when the grid goes down. Why? Because your solar panels are attached to the grid and they control it. Now,
the reason is, I can tell you a little more specifically about why that is. because
It's regulatory.
it's more to the point. This grid tie inverters require a sign of energy in order to mock it. In other words, if you are tied to the grid, it doesn't matter what grid you're tied to, it uses the sine wave from the electricity to operate. If that sign isn't there, it can't produce that sign. It doesn't have a signal generator, and it can't produce the sine wave.
The power companies have created these regulations to keep you from backfeeding power onto an out grid. Okay, that's why.
Yep.
So with that said, they don't want you to do that. But the new ATMs that my Generac ATM gets completely around that problem. We don't worry about what the grid does anymore. Our solar is no longer dependent. Our solar power is no longer dependent on what the grid does. That ATM completely and regulatory, and in compliance of all the regulations, that ATM will separate me from the grid.
Yep.
Period. That's the interlock that is legally required.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. So, but once if you switch from solar to grid and the grid goes down, you have your generator connected up and it sends a signal to the generator, fires it up, and you're still producing solar.
Yeah, but again, you have to separate from the grid.
Yeah, well, the transfer switch will do that. Yeah.
The transfer switch will do that. And the transfer switch will actually automatically start your generator also.
Yep.
It's got a contact start.
And I'm going to give Generac a quick shout out. If you all want a holy crap, they've got everything, because I know they've got everything that I need that'll even plug into my generator to where it's one system and just works, even with that grid tie and everything. It's a little pricey. Generac's not cheap.
Ain't cheap,
but it's not.
But it works every time.
Yes, and you talk about like I think Don, you said yours is propane, right?
Yes.
And mine's natural gas, and the consumption compared to what you get power wise is insanely low. You don't consume a lot to get a lot of power.
Correct.
They run
because they're very low RPM, low RPM generators. Very efficient. That's a 3-stroke engine that Generac, that's their proprietary patented engine. By the way.
I've just been impressed with everything that I come up with. This guy and he handled the install on this. Everything's like, we make, we get that Generac makes that. Generac makes that. They're already heads and feet above a lot of other places. I'll give them that. They're ready for people to start
were authorized dealers. My dudes were authorized dealers here. So they make sure it gets done. As a matter of fact, do you have the Wi-Fi interface? Because it comes with a Wi-Fi interface, right?
I've got the accessibility. I don't know how to. Yeah, didn't.
It's
do it.
It's wonderful. It's nice.
Nice.
It's nice. It's nice. There's nothing to write home about, but it's nice. It is.
Okay. Cool.
I won't lie to you. But dude, the Generac is the way to go.
That
auto switch solved all of my problems. I go out there, I'll throw the switch, the whole house will go down for 15 seconds, and then bada boom, bada bing. We have power.
Yeah. And that's the deal. Their startup and their tests and their startups, most of them you'll be out a couple minutes while it's doing its tests and startups and everything. And like Don just said, 10 to 15 seconds, your house is going again. You'll basically flicker and everything's going again.
I love it. Freaking love it.
So there you go. And then you can, with that ABB, it'll meet all the regs.
If I ever finally get some country land and can go actually off grid, I will call you back.
Call me back. No, this is not an off grid inverter.
Oh,
Dude,
it's a grid
This
tie.
is a grid tie
oh,
inverter.
dude,
okay.
I got
My bad.
28. I got 28 solar panels laying on the ground right now, flat. 14 of them going into one inverter, 14 of them going into a second inverter. And I just got another pallet. Actually, it was 2 pallets of 15 each, 30 new panels, new used panels from Santan Solar. ST's Truckin' just delivered them yesterday, I think it was. And those are, I just got the wire in, the 10 gauge wire in from Amazon to start making some crimps on. So, I mean, I got another 30 panels I got to add to a third inverter that's got nothing right now.
Through that
Oh, wow.
Santan. Oh, hey, Ragged. Hey, Zach. Hey, guys. Sorry about that. I missed y'all. Hi, Kimmy. But through that Santan that you gave me, I can get it around 6,500 watts for what I thought I was going to get 3,500 watts for.
Yeah. I think you probably, if you sharpened your pencil, you'd get it even better than that.
Yeah, my deal is I got a bad habit of spending. I'm trying to get everything bought quick, so I can't go out and
before
buy
prices
just
go up.
5.
It's
Yeah,
probably not a bad idea.
yeah. But so like every time I get money coming in, it's going out on something. So I still gotta, I work a lot, but still gotta wait until I get it because I don't want to do a loan on anything.
What is that rule
So I
number
can't.
4 of Rich Dad's rule number 4? Buy things that give you a monthly return.
Right.
Solar panels give you a return.
Yep.
Every day the sun comes out.
And I mean, I wish I could go out and just boom, $8,000 worth of stuff and everything, but I'll have to go a couple grand,
Nobody can.
a couple grand.
Nobody can. I got to do the same thing, dude. 1,000 here, 1,500 there, 200
Right.
there. Some weeks I can only afford plumbing, wires and
Yep.
bolts.
Yep.
Other weeks I can actually reach out and get. So most of my major purchases should be. I still got to buy some lumber. I still got to buy lumber for the frame. That's the last big thing.
Frame for your solar.
Yep.
Did you see that Santan has the aluminum framing?
I did. Yes. $1,200 they've got for I think it was 16 panels.
Oh, well, that is kind of, yeah, you could do wood cheaper. Okay, I see where you're doing wood. That is mine is going to be tricky because I've got a rock fence, rock wall, however you want to do it, that I'm finishing up, and I'm going to, and it's 6 foot, and then at the top it ends up at about 12 inches wide. It starts out at about 20 inches wide and then tapers up to 18 inches wide. I want to mount it on the top of that.
Oh fuck. You don't want it to be complicated or anything, do you?
And I've got in the center of it, every 6 foot, I've got a 2 3/8, some of the old steel gas well pipe. I've got some of it stemmed up through the center of it to where I could weld a top cap on it. So you can't see it. It looks like a rock wall, but that's actually going up every 6 foot to where I got a stable thing going all the way into the ground set in concrete.
Guy like you ought to be able to pull that off, no problem.
That's what I'm
Mr.
hoping.
Construction, dude, that's you. Me, Mr. IT, I can't do shit like that.
Yeah, and I can't do the IT stuff. I gotta bring people in for that.
I got the IT stuff. That's easy enough to do. Mr. Canoes.
Hey, Canoe.
Howdy.
Good evening, sir. Right now I'm stuck. I got to dig 6 post holes, probably a foot wide and 3 foot deep. And I hate digging fucking holes. So I need to find somebody with a post hole digger. You got a post hole digger? You can come down here and dig 6 posts for me.
I got one that hooks up to a car battery, and man, that thing will twist your arms up. It's got some torque.
I'll dig them for free if you get me out there.
Yeah, paying the fuel to drive somebody out there, you might be better off going down and renting one.
I'm absolutely sure of that. Yes.
Yeah, I know, right? You can talk to your neighbor, and he'll get out his auger on the back of his tractor.
I think my neighbor has one. I'm getting up the guts to go over there and ask him to do it for me, and offer to pay him, and hope he says, "Nah, I'll do it because you're my neighbor."
Right?
You know how that works? You know, you offer to pay him, and he's like, "Nah, you're all right. You're my neighbor."
Yeah, just pay for the fuel, something like that.
Yeah. Have a jug to replace a couple gallons of fuel, and we're good. Normally you'd probably get no biggie, but at $5-6 a gallon. Oh, you were talking about Alibaba earlier, and I used to be like, oh, that's Ford stuff. I wouldn't buy from there. But then one day I was sitting down and thinking about it. It's like, well, all this other crap you buy, it's foreign too. It's just got a different name stacked on it. So I started looking into Alibaba too. You can save a crap load of money on Alibaba, and it's the same stuff you're going to get everywhere else
for half the price.
Right.
Yep.
And that's after shipping.
Yeah. So yeah, I was really skeptical about sending some no-name Chinese guy $500 and waiting 6 weeks to get fucking 4 lithium iron phosphate cells.
Right.
Then I didn't get them in 6 weeks, and I was like, well, I really need these batteries, so I ordered another 4 for $500. 2 weeks later, the first 4 came in, and then another month later, the second 4 came in. So I got 8. I need 8 more.
Right.
Probably going to cost me around $800, $900 plus shipping.
And that's one thing for sure. If you're in a hurry, it's not something you want to do.
Yeah, Alibaba, because everything's coming from China, and everything is delayed. Everything.
Slow boat from China.
But I used to get Makita, Milwaukee, DeWalt, high dollar tools, and I don't do a lot of that stuff anymore. I just do kind of just on my own. And I told one of my cousins, I was like, I'm going to start getting that Walmart Heart brand. It's all brushless, 20 volt. And he's like, why would you do that? That's just junk that comes from China. I was like, have you looked at your DeWalt or Milwaukee?
Dude, it's all junk that comes from China.
Exactly.
It's all coming from the same fucking. So the same company owns all of these sub companies, just to be clear. And the same Chinese design agency is the one that is designing and building all of these different tools.
Black and Decker,
Stanley Black and Decker,
and they also got TTI, which is a Hong Kong-based company. TTI, which makes Milwaukee, Ryobi, Rigid, Cobalt, a bunch of those, and then everything else is Stanley Black and Decker. They do DeWalt, they do all those like that. So Porter Cable, it's insane, and they're all based out of Hong Kong, and they're all made in, like you say, China, and a lot of those are even made in the same companies because they actually contract out to the manufacturer. And it makes me so frustrated with DeWalt now. They put American assembled with global parts. That means everything is manufactured in China, and then they send the pieces over here, and a few dozen people get a job to put them together, and they sell it as made in America.
Now a robot puts them together.
Probably. Not frustrated because DeWalt is kind of playing a game with everybody there.
So, I'm a DeWalt guy. I'm an 18 volt DeWalt guy. As a matter of fact, I made some conversion over to the 20 volt shit, and I've seen the this, that, and the other thing. My thinking on this is real simple. I use the DeWalt tools, and they're, what do you call it, battery echo environment.
Yep.
Chargers, things like that. They're fairly inexpensive. I never buy. I think my wife bought a jigsaw one time for me, brand new. Everything else I've bought used off of eBay. Sawzalls and impacts and everything else. So I've been real lucky. Real lucky. I pay a minimum for these tools and they last forever.
Right. I
I've
did
got
the same
a-
thing with Ryobi.
I've become a Harbor Freight man. And when staple guns went to $15, I could buy 3 of them for what fucking DeWalt wanted for a staple gun.
Yep.
Stand by. Yes, ma'am.
When you have a second, look at the well camera and look at the moon just to the left. It looks pretty wicked.
Okay.
So
All right.
probably
Okay.
My big deal, and the reason I used to like Makita so much is because one battery. I don't want a 20 volt, a 40 volt, a 60 volt. I don't want to have to buy different batteries, different chargers for different tools. I just want the one battery. And I liked Makita for that because everything they made ran off. If it was bigger, it just ran off of 218s instead of 118. They didn't have
I'm
the
with you.
different batteries.
I'm a fucking 18 volt, all old school 18 volt guy.
Just one battery. Yep.
You can
And-
buy those. You can buy the cheap knockoffs, cheap Chinese knockoffs for those that work really well for fucking nothing.
Yeah, I got some 6-hour batteries for my Ryobis, and they've been jamming. Yeah.
Exactly. I buy them all the time. The cheap. I don't buy the DeWalts anymore. I just buy the Chinese. You can go up on Amazon, and for what one 18 volt DeWalt will cost you, you can get 3 18 volt DeWalt no name Chinese knockoffs.
And I have to try that. Yeah, because I buy the Makitas and the Porter cables. They ain't cheap.
If I remember correctly, the 6-hour batteries from Ryobi are about a little over $100, and you can get those same 6-hour batteries for Ryobis for like 2 for $50. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. You can get those batteries cheaper than DeWalt or Porter Cable or any of them want to sell you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go to Harbor Freight, and I bought their staple guns. I bought 2 of their staple guns at $15 a piece. I put one of them on the shelf. Said, okay, if the first one breaks, the second one I'll dip into the second one. The second one's still on the shelf, and it's in its brand new container. I've never cracked it.
Right.
The first one works flawlessly. That was 10 years ago.
I get a lot of my saw blades from Harbor Freight.
Saw blades, exactly.
Yep.
Sandpapers, disposables, all of your consumables comes from Harbor Freight.
You know what? I only buy those square pad sanders. I only buy those square pad sanders because you can buy that damn, go to Harbor Freight and get that belt, that sanding belt, and cut that some of it down and put them on your square sanders, and they'll last for projects after project after project. But you get that stupid ass sandpaper, I don't care where you buy it from, and you put that on that square pad, you'll go through 3 or 4 of those papers before you finish the first project.
Oh yeah.
Everything
Well,
I
those
got from them is hook and loop, and that stuff
Oh
works
no.
pretty well. I always thought.
Yeah, I got
a
the
lot of the
clampers. Yep.
Yep. A lot of the hook and loop, and then those belt sander ones, like you're talking about, those have a fabric in them also. So they're
Yeah.
not just the paper. So they definitely last longer.
Oh hell yeah! I'll be able to sand 2-3 coolers with one sheet, a cut out of that belt. But yeah, I'm using sandpaper. I'm using 5 sheets per cooler.
Nice.
Oh yeah, no question about it. So,
Speaking
but
of Harbor Freight,
Seen
I
on
gotta go buy
Facebook,
their.
guy jumps his car off an 18 to 20 volt battery. Yeah, I've seen guys do that. They're pretty good current, you know, batteries. Those 18 volts. You got to have a.
I got the impacts and everything that are 20 volt, and I'll change my tires, all 4 tires. It'll zip every one off, and not even it still got full power.
Hey,
yeah.
Ragged, we want to hear if you've got some DIY stuff, if you got some power tool stuff, we want to, you know, definitely want to include you in the conversation here. But yeah, it
He
is.
did have a tool shop. He said he had a
It's,
tool shop.
it's power
Remember?
tool night.
Yeah, but it fell off the cliff, hooked over.
Oh,
If
look at
you
that.
buy,
It's Kay.
oh hey, okay,
Hey, what's up,
Kay,
Kay?
the beautiful red lotus, has joined our ranks here.
the the big deal now that I'm after is trying to get everything brushless, so I don't have to worry about the wear as much. I'm trying to get everything brushless, and I got to give Walmart props that with that. I'm not, and y'all know I'm not a Walmart fan, but with that Hart series of tools, which Hart is separate, but they only sell through Walmart, they've got a crap load of tools. They just don't have my problem is I do metal roofing, and Makita, DeWalt, and Milwaukee are the only 3 companies that make a lot of tools for doing metal roofing. And that crap, they do not sell it cheap for one set of shears, or say the nibblers. The nibblers, depending on how thick of a gauge I go, I can spend anywhere from $500 to $1,200 on one set of stinking cordless shears or nibblers.
Yeah, try a rebar bender.
Oh
Holy
God,
shit!
yeah.
Those are 16,
Or the rebar
$1,700
ties.
for a cheap one.
Yeah, have you seen that rebar tire that they got? They each have one. They're like
No,
$1,500.
no
They're
shit.
insane. Yep, yep. Yeah, I got the old school bender. I got where you got a piece of rod coming out. It's on a big old chunk of 2x8, and
Yeah, I
that's
got one of those. Yeah,
yep,
yeah, with the 5-foot handle.
yep, yep.
Yep.
And when you're cutting it, you got to be careful to where you don't knock all your teeth out.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. I always thought about putting a boat winch on that dump bitch so you can just crank it down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep, yep.
I'm actually thinking about putting some sort of, not a boat winch, but about the same size on my trailer, so I can pull my ATVs up onto them if they die. I can pull the ATV onto the trailer without having to push it, because pushing those things up on those trailers is
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
something an old
Harbor
guy like
Freight.
me should not be doing. It.
Harbor
Yep,
Freight. You
Harbor.
can get yourself a
Yep.
2500. You set it at the base, right at the head of your trailer. A
Exactly.
2500 winch, and you just $50.
Yep. That's
They
exactly
work
what I'm
electric.
doing. Best
Yep.
idea I've heard all night. Yes, sir.
I've actually got one of those. I pulled many a car on the car trailer with one of those Harbor Freight ones, and that thing's
Yeah.
still punching along. It's probably 12 years old.
Right.
That's what I like to hear. Yep, I'm gonna have to get that. Me and Harbor Freight's gonna have to hook up soon.
I've got a 2500, and we've got a 3500 floating around here somewhere.
Well, I was able to put so I put a brand new 12 volt. I put a battery box or a toolbox on the trailer, and then I put a battery in the battery box, and then I put an electric tongue lift or electric tongue jack on the trailer. So it raises and lowers automatically with the flip of a switch, and it's got a nice little light there. But then I added a 100-watt solar panel and charging mechanism that now charges the battery to
Right.
13.7. It's just a standard low end,
Charge.
AutoZone 12 volt, and it's got a low end eBay charge controller on it. Yes. But it lets me set it to like 13.7 volts, which it keeps the battery at a wonderful, nice charge. And so I think that a 2500 also bolted or welded maybe to the frame of the trailer would be a wonderful addition to
Yeah.
my trailer weaponry here. That's a great
You know what?
idea. Thank you.
And what I did,
Yeah.
and just an idea, I took some of that 2x6 rectangle tubing, bolted it to it, and left it about 8 inches longer. And I ended up getting a bigger piece of channel and welded it on the front of the frame to where I slide it down in there, and then I drilled a hole and I just put a pin in it so it holds it on there. And that way I can take it out, remove it, and put it in my toolbox.
Well, hello, Kay. How you
Hi,
doing?
guys.
Hey,
Are
I'm
you
all right. How are you?
okay? Are you okay?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Doing
Good
great,
here.
Kay. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Just been dealing with drama of life.
Yeah,
How's the
haven't
little
we
one?
all? How's the youngster?
Yeah. Good. She's perfect. She's a handful.
Always there. Always perfect. Exactly.
Oh, she's a
Congratulations,
little
by the way.
monster. Thank you. Yeah, she's quite the little monster. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, they're kind of all like that. Till they hit around 3, then they become a real problem because they can get
Oh,
in.
yeah. Then they're terrorists.
Yeah. Then you're all hell broke loose with a leash and a lead. Yeah.
Yeah, then they say no.
Just think, you only have 18 more years of that shit.
Bullshit. You know it never ends.
No, it ended at 18 for most of my kids. Because they weren't in school, they was out the house.
Yeah.
Right? They're paying rent. They didn't want to pay rent.
I was
I'm
always
thinking that
told
there's
that. Oh, my bad.
I'm thinking there's a military contract in their name, in their future at 18 years old.
Yep, they ain't got a job. They don't want to go to work. They guess what? Uncle Sam will take them, train them right.
Shit. Just honk my horn and
I
scared
was
myself.
always told that your kid's going to turn out to be twice as wild as you were, so it scared the crap out of me. Part of the reason why I didn't
Yeah,
have
I was
kids.
told that 3 times is worse
Yep.
as you get. Your child will give you 3 times the hell you gave your parents, is what I was told.
I only have this then to say, oh God, oh God, oh God, Kay.
Boy. Oh, I know, right?
You're in deep shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely in deep shit.
Right.
That's why I never wanted a girl. That's why I was so happy I had a son. I was totally fine with never having a
hire
girl.
a priest.
What's that?
You're going to
You are
have to hire
so
a priest.
Yeah, for sure.
So far.
Yeah. And I know that screwing the windows shut and all that doesn't matter because, well, it didn't work for me.
Yeah, you found a screwdriver.
Well, it's his fault. He taught me how to use it.
Yeah. Oh, geez. But yeah, no shit, man. No, it's just yeah, my kids came at me. Oh, I'm turning 16 next year, Dad. You better get ready to buy me a car. I was like, I ain't buying you shit. You want a car from me? We're gonna trade papers. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you give me that high school diploma, I'll give you a car.
Yeah, see, anything with me, it was always a lemon, and my dad's like, okay, well, here, you want a car? Guess
I didn't
what?
say
This
it
car
was
needs
gonna
a
be a
fucking
good
power
car.
steering pump, so you're gonna put it in.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit I did. Yeah, I bought him a Saab 900 convertible. It
Nice.
needed
Hey,
it
stop
needed
with the
a
shit.
fuel pump. It needed a fuel pump and something else in the ventilation system on the air conditioner. And turn around and I said, "Here's your car." I was like, "You got a little work needs to be done on it, but once you're done, you have a badass little car."
I came from an old school family, I guess. My sisters, they all got their cars bought for them, but I did not. I had to buy my own. I had to save up and get. I was the boy, so you didn't get crap bought for you if you were the boy.
Oh yeah, no, no, no. You have to earn that shit.
Yep.
And I ain't
Hey,
paying
Jason.
no insurance. I ain't paying no insurance for nobody. I pay my own extortion.
Thank you.
I've been paying extortion all my life, so I ain't paying nobody else. Nobody paid my payments for me anytime that I can remember. So you go
Right?
figure that out yourself.
Oh man. Yeah, my dad always made us work our asses off for everything we got.
he tried his voice when my boy turned 18. He said, "What should I do now?" And Dad said, "Get the hell out."
That's funny.
I
Oh,
worked.
I couldn't wait to get out of my parents' house. I was out. Shit, at 13, I was out.
Well, I was living in my car at 15, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. I had a car.
Oh.
I know
And two tires.
hearing how rough some of you guys had it, I definitely appreciate my upbringing. It was not, my parents weren't extremely lenient, but I had both parents there and they were good parents. So strict, but good parents. So
That's good. That's good. You're blessed.
yeah,
You're a very
yeah,
blessed man.
I definitely feel blessed over that, hearing everybody else's experiences.
Yeah, my dad left when I was 3 years old. And my mom never left, but she remarried when I was 5 years old, and things weren't any. It wasn't like I was part of that family. So, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Me and my brothers got treated like refugees from a prior relationship, and we were treated just that way.
That's shitty. I think that's so horrible when somebody gets with somebody, like, you're not just, okay, well, most people don't even get married anymore, but the saying, like, you're not just marrying the person, you're marrying what comes with them. And if you can't accept somebody's kids, why the fuck are you with them?
Right. He was fine with us until they started having their own kids, and then things changed.
Right. Then you guys are the ones that were badly influencing those ones.
We weren't needed anymore. We were just placeholders for their kids, kind of thing. The way we
you know,
felt.
I had two brother-in-laws, and I give them the utmost credit and respect because both of them raised not only their child with one of my sisters, but the other children also the same way. They were their kids. So yeah, I've always had a lot of respect for them for that.
Right. Oh man.
And in one case, more of a parent than their real dad.
Well, it does not take being a father to be a dad.
Definitely
Right.
not.
Okay, because not all fathers are dads.
Exactly.
Okay, I learned that at a very early age, and that's why I have 5 godsons. Why I call them godsons, because basically I'm the one that raised them. They had fathers. I was their dad.
Yep.
They had seed donors.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. I was able to give them something I didn't have.
Hey, Shaw.
You know what I'm saying? Just
That's awesome,
I'm
dude.
and I'm
I
so
got
proud of all of them.
I got a lot of respect for anybody that's able to, pick up and do that and treat the kid like their own. That's better man than I type of thing. So that's cool.
Well, you know, I growing up without a dad, I'm just resolute that my kids would never know that. They never know what it's like to crawl into a stairwell in a basement stairwell because your dad's shooting up the front of the house and you don't get killed.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, I'm saying. you know, yeah, shit like that, dude. Yeah, it was not a fun childhood. I don't give a fuck what side of you were on. It was tough anyway it went. So I vowed sitting in that stairwell, my kids would never know what it's like to fear their father that way. My kids will never know what it's like to eat a ketchup sandwich because you had to. You know, I wasn't going to let my children know that existence. And they never did. And they never will. They'll never know what it's like not to have a dad that gives a shit about them.
Shit. You all remember, I mean, I know some of the rest of y'all grew up, poor on farms and stuff. Y'all remember uh, bread, butter, and sugar sandwiches for a treat, for a snack? They do that in your areas? That was big around here.
My dad used to call them midnight snacks, and it was on a tortilla, but it was butter and sugar and cinnamon on a tortilla.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I had some bread, some butter, and some sugar, and it just kind of brought back that memory. It's like, no, it's good memories. You grow up poor, but I wouldn't change any of those memories.
yeah, I thought about it a lot. I probably wouldn't change much of anything because it would have changed what I've learned and what I know now. It would have made me different. I'm glad I went through what I did. I learned. I broke the cycles of heredity. You know what I'm saying? My dad was gone. I didn't learn any of the evil habits. He was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying? He was abusive. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to even know it until I was like in my close to 30.
Right. Well, I guess that's one thing that always look at is when you go through hell, all it does is really build character.
Yeah, it does. So, God bless America. Fire in the motherfucking bowl.
Woohoo!
Fire. I lost my fire. Oh, there it is. No,
Well,
no, but
I'm sticking.
I've been damned and determined to make sure, you know.
I'm sticking with my theory that I'm the only white guy on the planet that has ever had a decent childhood. Wasn't raped or beaten or you know
It's pretty damn rare,
otherwise
sadly.
abused. Apparently, I am. I'm the only
I'm,
guy in the fucking U.S. that has never been, that
I
had a
had a good
childhood.
upbringing. I had a good upbringing. That's how I said after hearing all the other stories. God, I feel blessed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? I managed to stay out of any kind of detention center, or stay out of trouble, or stay out of crime, stay out of fucking jail, except for when I ran that guy over. But that
Didn't
was it.
Johnny Cash write a song about that? Prison and fucking trucks and prison.
I didn't end up with a lot of trouble. I went to work. I didn't turn to being a victim and ripping people off. I went to work. That's what I did.
Right.
Yeah, that's what worked
Oh,
for me. I worked for my shit. I didn't have to steal it. I wasn't going to steal it.
I got into a lot of trouble, and school, but it was more for fighting. And that's on me, not on anybody else. That was me not knowing how to control my temper. So, yeah, that was the trouble I got
Right.
Hey, at least you were in school.
Oh yeah, I stayed
Actually,
in
even
school even when I was living in my car. I still stayed with school. But uh, I joined the service way before I should have graduated. But I had my GED when I turned 16.
Nice.
So
I should have been able to graduate my junior year. And actually, even with all the trouble I got into, I still graduated with an average of 3.75. Had scholarships and everything, but kind of drank those away for a couple of years. So, yeah, that's on me too.
Well, I joined the service and became a paramedic. I had an associate's degree in paramedicine from military academy in off San Houston.
Nice.
Yeah. So that I received that the same month. My classmates got their high school diplomas handed to them.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was kind of a funny story. I came home after AIT with my degrees and all that stuff. I turned around and a buddy says, "Dude, you missed graduation. Dude, how you going to make all that up?" I was like, "Dude, I've already got my associate's degree in paramedicine. Who's the one that's behind?" He goes, "Oh shit." I says, "Yeah, I'm headed to Germany next week because that's my first duty station." He's like, "Holy shit." I was like, "You have fun here with your high school diploma." So, yeah. There you go. Sorry. It's okay.
Yeah.
What, is she eating solids yet?
She shouldn't be.
I'm talking about
Actually,
rice, and purina.
yeah. And actually, right now, well, Biden has screwed everything up, and we're actually kind of stressing out. So I wasn't able to breastfeed. And so she's on formula, but we cannot find any formula.
Goat's milk.
Yeah,
Supplement goat's milk.
that's what I was getting ready to do. Is there's a family I know that has a bunch of goats, and that's what I was raised on. So that was my next step. Yeah, we've got one more can of formula, and the shelves are barren over here for it. So
Yeah, they're saying a 70% shortage now all of a sudden.
yeah, it's insane. At first, I didn't believe it because, I mean, we didn't see it here, but yep.
Well, that's why I was saying you might want to introduce her to, like rice and farina and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I know. The other day, I gave her a little taste of ice cream, and oh my God, I never
Very,
seen her
yeah.
eyes get so damn big.
I used to do when my kids were little. Uh, we used to take and save the turkey bone or chicken bones and bird bones and stuff like that, like the
Yeah,
legs, and the thigh bones and stuff like that. We'd stick them in the freezer, and when they start teething, we'd give them chicken bone. They love just gnawing on those
that
chicken.
is not a bad idea.
It is an excellent idea, and the kids love it, and it works great for them teething.
That's a good idea. Yeah, I usually use a wet washcloth. I throw
Yeah,
a wet washcloth in the freezer, and babies love gnawing on a frozen washcloth.
right, but it makes a mess. It gets everything wet.
Everything gets wet anyway with the amount of drool from the teething.
Right.
If anything, it's cleaning her face.
I remember the days. Put the towel on your shoulder and then grab the kid.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go, because you know it's gonna get there. You're gonna have some puke or some poop or something come up. There's always something coming out of this damn kid. You know?
Oh, yeah.
God bless. I
Oh,
yeah, my biological kids, my first two were a year apart, so we had baby on baby. You know,
oh.
yeah. So I loved every minute of it.
It's the best. I love
I puked a
the
few times.
baby.
You know, your first one, you're gonna puke a few times.
Eh. I guess I was so used to taking care of siblings that by the time I had my own, it was no big deal.
Right. But yeah, I loved being dad. You know, it just it was awesome.
Right? There we go. Let's see if that works. I'm on the phone, so I can't share my screen, but there you go. I just put it as my avatar.
Of course, I was the kind of dad that I'd already have her at your child. How old is she now?
4 months.
4 months.
Well, almost 4 months.
Is she setting up yet?
Not really. Yeah, she holds her head up like great. She was already doing that like 2 weeks in. But now she's still wobbly to set up. But
Well, I was training my daughter. I'd turn around and I'd record the alphabet onto Sony Walkman. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay. And I'd record the alphabet and I'd go through a apple, like you eat,
Uh-huh.
you know, and stuff like that. And hey, what's up? And I'd play that over and over again at night while she was sleeping, so she could hear my voice, and she was learning her alphabet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was talking by the time she was 6 months old.
Mhm.
It was really interesting.
Damn.
I kind of wish I didn't do that now. Because it was just like, oh, crazy. I had a cousin of mine come over for my daughter's first birthday, right? And she
Yeah.
goes, how old is she? I was like, this is her first birthday, dude. He says, no way. I've been talking to her for like 4 or 5 months. I was like, yeah, dude, you need me to get her birth certificate? This is her first birthday. She's not even out of the car seat much. You know what I'm saying? She's just barely walking. Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting. That was cool. But yeah, it's, you know, so how's everything else going in the world?
Good. We're getting ready to open our business, which actually happens to be right above a dispensary, which is awesome.
Oh shit.
So I think we're gonna do a soft open next weekend.
What are you selling?
It is a hot dog and lemonade. Well, it's pretty much concession stand. But we're calling it hot fire dogs, and because he's from Chicago, so we are gonna do a Chicago dog here in Durango and see how it fares. We were running it with, we bought the cart and we were doing that, and it has done very well. So we're gonna see how this works out for us.
You're
The
right
rent
above
is
a dispensary.
outrageous.
Yeah,
Huh?
we know. You're right above a dispensary. We know you're gonna have some pretty cool kind of clientele, maybe.
Exactly. Well, and we're on the main street that are all the bars are open, and we're kind of gearing towards you know, we're going to stay open until an hour after all the bars close. And so the idea is that we'll get all, because there's nothing open at that hour except for the bars. And so we're kind of hoping that that will get us, the bar crowd. We'll see how it works.
Right. Rock on. Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't seem to do that anymore. We used to do that all the time after we closed down the bar. We'd go eat breakfast, and people just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, and we do still have it. So the only thing that is open at that hour, we have a Denny's, and that's the only thing. But I mean, we're hoping that we're doing fresh squeezed lemonade. I'm actually doing like a lavender lemonade.
I can hear you now. Give me a squeeze. I want a large squeeze.
Yeah. Oh, but hey, I'm getting ready to go walk back into the bar and go see if he has won this tournament yet or not. And,
I want a foot long dog and a large squeeze.
right. But I'll hop back on. I'll hop back on after we leave here. I might.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, you guys have a good one, and if you guys are still on in a bit, I will hop on over again.
I don't care. Right on. Take care.
All right. You too.
Well, that was nice. Hey, Colonel Shaw. Holy shit, Colonel Shaw is in the house. Salute, Colonel Shaw.
Ragged says the same there. What his girl told him about the formula.
Yeah. It's crazy shit, dude.
Oh, when you got one company that produces 90% of it, and that company, or 70% of it, and that company has health problem, a health
Well, let me tell you
violation.
something. The goat milk industry just got a big kick in the pants.
Oh,
Yep. Hey, get your ass going. Wake up. Goat milk industry is getting strong again.
I grew up on goat's milk for some odd reason. When I was a baby, apparently I didn't like regular milk or anything like that, and the goat's milk I drank. So,
Yep.
I think that's a farm thing. I think most people hear about goat's milk. Ew,
Oh no. Makes the creamiest butters and cheeses. Oh man. Ice cream. Oh,
Yeah.
good Lord.
It's a lot thicker than cow milk. The cream on it is.
Oh, it's so good. It is so good. The queso. I like the cream is basically a cheese they dip chips in at most restaurants. It's called queso. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, it's all good. It's all good from start to finish.
Where'd Don go?
I don't know. He said goodbye. He came on, faced up, and waving and waving and waving goodbye.
Oh, okay. Right on. Colonel Shaw. He's starting his Thursday morning, right? Yeah. He's starting his Thursday.
Yeah. Welcome in, Colonel Shaw.
Tomorrow I'm sticking around the house, gonna try to finish up a bunch of stuff around here.
Dude, I just basically got ahead of the weather for a change. I finished up all the vegetable garden stuff, getting everything in the ground and planted and rowed up and all that stuff. I just have I have another section of the greenhouse area to do, but Yeah, I'm putting up piers and or setting pier forms and building retaining walls between them, and
Nice.
then we'll start assembling the walls, setting them in place, and concrete the bitches in. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I planted about 80 foot of my hedgerow. Got about 200 foot left to go total around the whole lot. Hi, Kimmy. Because I want that living hedge all the way around, and even where the rock wall is, I've only got it because I'm on a corner lot, so I've only got a neighbor immediately to the south of me, and that's where I've got the rock wall.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just for the privacy, immediate privacy. You know, their backyard, my backyard. Not a big fan of having it right there. So,
Right. Right.
so I'm that prick that builds a wall.
Right. That's listening to you talk about it. He's like, holy shit, he's fucking fortressing his property. He's what, 6 feet tall or 8 feet tall, some shit you said?
It's about 7 foot tall. Yep.
Yeah. So you put anything on top of one of those posts, that bitch is up there. That's 8 foot
Yeah.
up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Put motion detection lights on it so that it's solar.
Yeah.
Anything comes
Whoa,
on the other
what?
side of that fucking fence, that light goes off. You know what I'm saying?
Light up their yard for them. Shine it right up at their house. Make sure they.
Or just light up the fence, you know. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it'll freak
Yeah.
anything
Well,
out, freak anyone out.
this they could take a hammer to it, and they're not going to damage it because it's sandstone, and then
Well,
it's a 1-to-1 mortar. So I mean, it's rock solid. Even the
right,
mortar
right,
is.
right.
So.
But I'm just saying, the lights come on and people think there's a camera on them, even if there's not.
Right. Right. Yep.
Oh shit! It just lit up this area. I'm probably
Yep.
on camera. Fuck.
Yep. And actually, in a few places, I do have security lights, but I also have the cameras because we've had a problem with a bigger town that we're close by. People are coming down from the bigger towns and stealing stuff from this little town. Because here it's a little town, people are used to leaving their stuff, but you know, they'd leave their shop unlocked. Heck, they'd leave their front door unlocked. You know, it's still that type of area. But the people
Right.
from the bigger towns, we've got to be careful for now.
Right.
Because they'll drive the 20 miles that, you know, they know that nobody locks their stuff here. They do now, unfortunately, because see, 2 years ago we had 15 break-ins.
Well, we had some break-ins and people messing with shit on the property and stuff like that. Now I've got 4 big dogs. We don't have that problem.
Yeah. That's one thing about it. Well, like I've got 2 of these that they can run between the 2 lots from mom's place to my place. So that's what I always tell everybody. If somebody ever went into my mom's house and these dogs, they can hear from that, 200 foot away. If they ever heard her squawk, they would tear somebody apart if they were in there. That's why I've got to be real careful with the kids too, because if the kids are playing and one of those kids screams, then my dogs are looking at all the adults like, what'd you do? It's like, hey, don't scream. You're going to get my leg taken off if you keep screaming.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, but they're very protective dogs.
Yeah.
Molly here, she's almost too protective. I've got to keep her with me most of the time. And on a short, I've got a harness with the little wrist collar. So I've got a handle that I hold on to and then lines that run up and then attaches to my forearm. And I've got to keep her on a short leash because if any other dog or anything runs up and gets too close to whoever's walking her, yeah, she don't like it. It's got to come up slow. Can't come running up.
Right. Well, Ranger really is my guardian. He there's nothing happens around here that he doesn't deal with, So
Right.
it doesn't matter if I just get up out of here, walk out back. He's right there, with an eye shot, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, Molly, even though she's a sister to Sadie, I've had Sadie since Sadie was a pup. I didn't get Molly until she was a year old from the
Right.
people. And I worked with Sadie with her growing up. So if I tell her to heel, she'll stop whatever she's doing and she'll come back and everything. Molly, she just doesn't, she didn't get that growing up, that lessons. And I'm not mean to them. I'm not one of those that jerks them around to train them. I don't believe in that.
Right.
They listen. My voice, that's enough to get them to listen. So.
Oh no, no, my voice is not enough. I've got the training collar. It's got a beeper, a buzzer, and a zapper on it.
Oh, the zapper too.
Yeah. And I've never had to zap them, but I've buzzed them a few times, and that seems to be enough.
I've never used the zapper. I've used the one with the tone, the ringer.
Yeah, it's got a tone first. It's got a tone, a zapper, a tone, and then it's got a vibration mode, and then it's got the electrocution mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
see, I've got the one that does a tone and then does the vibration. It's kind of like a weird vibration on their voice box that they don't like, and it sounds cruel, but it's really not. Now the the charge, I can
change the volume of each of those things on my remote. So
I know I've had people that do use those chocters, and I guess they've had good luck with them. I've just never been a fan of them.
Well, there comes a point, I guess, that in a bad situation where you need to, if the dog's not responding,
Yeah.
They're getting in a fight or starting to go after somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. And Molly, I'm not worried about her going after somebody. I'm worried about her going after somebody's pet. Like, say, if that dog snarled at me, she would. So that's why I've got her on that short leash. If need be, I can pick her up with that whole harness and everything to, get her up on my shoulder, keep her away from all the others. So, but she ain't a light dog. I don't know if I could do that anymore.
You know what though? You're just not following doggy protocols. You know that, right? You're supposed to meet and greet all acceptable individuals and then introduce them to the rest of the dogs.
Yeah.
Then you won't have problems like that.
Yeah. And actually with her, she was a farm dog, and it was just her and her mama, and they didn't have a whole lot of interaction. And that's the big difference. One of the big difference. For one thing, I didn't have that year when she was a puppy to work with her. For another reason, just like you said, she didn't get to meet a lot of other animals.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Prince and Princess are just now. I mean, they'll be a year old the 26th of August or 28th of August.
Now Callie's that Australian Shepherd, that purebred that I got. And I got to quit saying Australian Shepherd. I got corrected about that. Apparently she's a healer, blue healer. So I got to quit saying Australian Shepherd. I could have sworn she was an Australian Shepherd, but apparently she's a pure blood blue healer. That's why she's got her tail bob. But now her, on the other hand, she's a turd. She's every dog, every cat, everything's friend. She will run up to them and she'll just roll over, and she wants pet by everybody. My problem with her is she wants to be everybody's friend, so she'll go running up to people and roll over and almost trip them.
Oh, yeah. Ranger wants to go up and start, jumping on them and greet them.
Yep.
Yeah, he starts talking, and the people are like, is he getting ready to bite me or what? He's just telling you hello. He's saying hi. He's trying to talk to you.
my sister's dog, and I can't remember what type it is. It's not a tiny dog, but it's a smaller dog. He runs up to you, and his teeth are showing. It looks like he's snarling, but
Yeah.
literally he's
They're
smiling.
smiling.
He is so
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, he is so happy. It's the funniest thing. But you would think he was snarling and getting ready to attack, but nope, he's just smiling away, and he wants attention.
Yeah, Ranger does that too.
That's funny.
We call him. I call
That
it cheesy teeth. Those are cheesy teeth.
is, and they do. I mean, they flat out it. But yeah, they're just smiling away because they're as happy as could be.
Oh, by the way, and I was slacking tonight, but it's time for pie.
Oh, speaking of pie, I got to cut some rhubarb. Send it to my sisters this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Give it to them. Yeah, because usually I'll send it to them, and they'll make themselves some, and then they'll make me a couple rhubarb pies. So for buying the materials, I get a couple myself.
Mhm. Hell yeah.
Or not buying. I guess I supply them. Got a big, like a 2 foot by 4 foot area. I thought I killed it because I transplanted it. Half of it died out, and then this year it just took off.
Oh really? Good
Yep.
deal.
I'm actually trying to contain it in that 2 foot by 4 foot area.
Nice.
my all my heritage raspberries didn't come back up this year. They didn't green up again, but all the Queen Anne the yellow gold Queen Anne's, they're going nuts. But the heritage red, I cannot get to grow here for some reason.
Wow.
And they're supposed to be the heritage are supposed to be more prolific in the northern states.
Maybe it's a soil thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it is because we've got kind of a dull soil in the area that I'm at right here. We're right at a transition point where it goes from the sandy loam to the clay, and we've got a real thick clay area here, but we've got a line layer of sandy loam on top. And just like my blueberries, I have to actually add acidity to the ground. But on my bed for my blueberries, I had to go, well, you know how it is. You have to go down a little bit so the other plants don't get a hold of that acidity and kill them. So my border, I had to go down a little bit to try to block that acidity to where they get the acidity, but nothing else does.
Right. Yeah, I double deep my holes for the blueberries, so yeah.
Yep. It's tricky and I found out a hard way, expensive way. If you don't do that, you'll kill everything else around it.
Yeah, well, I plan on, the only thing that's in there is the rose bushes and the blueberries. They get the same,
Nice.
they need the same acidity. They love
Yep.
the same soils,
Yep.
and it's going to be basically end up being a blueberry hedge across the front of the house. Yeah.
I started a new area this year with the mulch, and I'm putting pine needles in the new area. So I'm trying to get a higher acidic mulch going with those pine needles, I'm hoping.
Right.
So as long as I keep them straight, which one's which, I should have no problem.
I just need to find some black tea plants. That's what
Tea?
Yeah, black tea. I want some black tea plants, bushes.
Have you ever tried Goji Berry? I got 2 of those going, which I'm surprised because they actually like sandy loam, but they're growing really good in this clay. I got 2 of those. Yep.
That sounds cool.
They're kind of a tart, and I guess they make really good jellies. But there's like vitamin C they're loaded in, vitamin B they're loaded in, antioxidants. They've got a massive kick of vitamins and antioxidants.
Well, I could sweeten up a deal for you. We could pot you up a couple. I mean, I don't know about transportation at this point. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I was saying I could pot you up with
Shipping.
sassafras trees.
Ooh, I'd like that for some
I know you
Gojis.
would. Huh?
For some Gojis.
Yeah. Kind of a swap thing. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Let me get some cuttings tomorrow, and I'll put them in water and see if I can get them to root out. If I get them to root out, heck yeah, I'd be interested in that. I'd just send you a couple anyways if you want to try them.
Well, get them rooted out first. Then I'll hook it up from there.
Yeah. I wouldn't send just the cuttings. That's a little. Everybody tries to make it sound like, oh, cuttings, just get the cuttings. It's real easy. Not as easy as you think. And
No,
you want to
I've used
soak
the
them in
process.
water for right after you cut them. You want them to be in water.
Yeah, immediately, right?
Yeah. Yep. And most of it'll start to root. And they don't tell you that, you kind of, there's different types of things have different tricks, like with the rooting hormone, with a little bit of fertilizer. Take a little bit of dirt, mix it in the water so you get some dirty water, and they'll go better a lot of times that way.
Yeah. Some of the cuttings require a certain pH.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
Yep. Some of the cuttings I've been doing, I cannot go out of the faucet outside. I've got to use it through the filters inside, because like the chlorine and stuff like that they put in it will mess with them. They won't grow. So I've got to run it through the filters to get purified water to be able to do them. Are we that boring, Reagan? Yes. Yeah, I think that planting stuff I think that's good conversation.
Well, it is. It's well after midnight, guys. So I'm gonna bring her down.
Yeah.
I gotta get some sleep. And I gotta do what I can tomorrow. I think we're gonna end up with a bunch of decent day tomorrow too. So once the morning storms pass, it's supposed to clear up. So I got a good day of getting out there and getting shit done. Building a wall, setting the backside of my garden, shit like that too. So I got to get out of here, man. I got to hit the hay, and
Right on.
God bless you all for hanging out with us tonight.
Take care, everyone. Take care, Em.
And we'll see you tomorrow night between 9 and 10 Eastern time. We'll be starting up between that. And Sing, you're welcome to come up here and start it up at 9 o'clock sharp if you want. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
I'll be in by 10 o'clock. My days, it don't even get dark here till 9 o'clock now.
That's my issue, is I go till dark. So
yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, it's getting dark at 9 o'clock, so I'm working pretty much up to 9 o'clock a lot of time.
Daylight hours, squeeze in as many as you can get, because this winter you won't have all those daylight hours.
Right, and then you got to eat because you're hungry as shit. Because you didn't eat at 6 because you was working.
Yep.
So
you got to shower, get all the dirt off. Yep.
Exactly. So you guys,
right on. We'll take care, guys.
Yeah. You have a wonderful night, and we will see you tomorrow. God bless and dream well, Patriots. We're gonna win this. You just gotta have faith.